Hey guys, it's Priscilla Ono, global makeup artist for Fenty Beauty, and today I'm going to show you how to pick the right foundation and primer for your skin type. Let me start off by helping you identify your skin type. If your skin tends to get more greasy or oily throughout the day, you probably are more of an oily skin type. If when you wash your face, right after you wash your face, it feels really tight, or sometimes you can see a little bit of peeling or some dry areas around your face, you're probably more of a dry skin. And if you really don't know what your skin type is, if you ask yourself if you have any concerns and you're kind of like, no, I really don't feel anything, then you're probably a normal skin type. First, I'm going to show you how to pick the perfect primer for your skin type. We recommend using a primer because it creates the perfect base for your foundation. It also improves and extends your makeup wear. The Instant Retouch Primer is the most universal primer for pore diffusion and shine control. Next up, we created an oil-free mattifying primer for normal to oily skin. This primer gives you next level mattitude and all-day shine control. So you get that same cushiony texture as the Instant Retouch Primer without having your face feel tight or dry. Next up, we have the Hydrating Primer that was created for normal to dry skin. With a nourishing, lightweight hydration that feels silky smooth and also giving the skin a filtered-like blurred effect. So now that we talked about primers, let's talk about choosing the right foundation for your skin types and your skin concerns. When choosing your foundation, you should pick a foundation based on the finish that you want. Our soft matte foundation will give you a matte finish. Our hydrating foundation will give you more of a natural finish, but not dewy. Next, I'm going to show you guys how to choose your primer and foundation combination based on the skin type that you have and the finish that you want. So this is my beautiful model Mimu, and she has more of an oily skin. And today I'm going to be using the mattifying primer and the soft matte foundation. So I already prepped her skin with some light moisturizer. So first off, I'm going to prime the skin. So I just put 3 pumps of the mattifying primer in the palm of my hand. Now I'm going to pick some up with the full body foundation brush, and I'm going to start to apply it on the center of the face. So the reason why I'm using a brush to apply this is because of the finish and the texture. So this primer is going to help mattify the skin. It's going to help your foundation last longer, and it's also going to blur pores. Now moving on to foundation, I'm going to be using the soft matte foundation in the color 450. I'm going to take this foundation, I'm going to give it a good shake. Then I'm going to take some and apply some on the back of the palette, and I'm going to take the full bodied foundation brush and just dip into that. Now when I'm applying this, I'm actually going to start on the inside of the face first and just work my way out. Now in the areas that I feel need a little more coverage, I do more of like a tapping motion. And then on all the areas that I kind of just want to feather and blend, I do my more swiping and buffing motions. So now that I applied the foundation all over, I'm gonna go in with some concealer, and I'm gonna be using her corresponding shade, which is also 450. So I'm gonna take some of the concealer and I'm gonna do 3 swipes underneath the inner part of the eye. And I'm going to take the little precision sponge and I'm just going to blend this in. Now I'm going to be taking the Pro Filter setting powder in the color Nutmeg, and I'm going to take the powder puff brush and just dip in, tap off some of the excess, and I'm just going to pat this underneath the eyes to set the under eye area. Now the T-zone area is a crucial area for someone with oily skin. This is the area that gets the most noticeable when it's oily. And then just take a little bit of what's left over on your brush and just apply on the rest of the face. Now a little trick, I always like to go in with a little bit of Invisimatte blotting powder and apply this on top of the setting powder. This just gives you that extra insurance and is really great for someone that has oily skin because it's really gonna ensure that you're not gonna get greasy or oily, so you're just gonna get that extra flawless finish. Now we're gonna finish up with a little bit of Gloss Bomb in the original Fenty Glow color. So this is my model Stevie. Stevie has dry skin, so today I'm going to be using hydrating primer and hydrating foundation. So I already prepped Stevie with a little bit of moisturizer. So first step, I'm going to be using hydrating primer. I'm going to take some of this and I'm actually going to apply it in the palm of my hands. It did about 3 to 4 pumps, and then I'm gonna just kind of work it in between my hands and my fingers, and then I'm gonna start to apply this on the skin. Now I already prepped Stevie's face with moisturizer before this, and this is just gonna add some added moisture, but also going to help to blur the pores. It's also gonna help the longevity of the foundation, and it's gonna help the foundation go on the skin really, really nice and smooth. So So now I'm going to apply the Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I'm gonna be taking color 140, and I'm gonna apply some on the back of a palette. I wanna say about 3 to 4 pumps. And now I'm going to take the Kabuki Buff foundation brush and kind of swirl it into my product. I like to do this swirling motion to really get the foundation buffed into the skin. The great thing about the foundation is that it's buildable. And one of my favorite things about the foundation is that if you go over any dry patches, it doesn't make the skin feel uncomfortable. This foundation has a beautiful natural finish, so it's never gonna make you look dewy, oily, or greasy. It's just gonna look really fresh. So now I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I'm gonna be using the Pro Filter concealer in the corresponding color, which is 140. I'm gonna take some of this concealer, and I'm actually going to just dot on the inner parts of the eye. And I'm going to take the low precision sponge, and I am going to just blend that in. These formulas actually blend really well together. And now I'm going to set her foundation so that it stays in place. So I'm just going to be using Invisimatte blotting powder. I'm gonna take the Invisimatte and the Powder Puff brush, and I'm going to apply this just the areas that you don't want to look shiny. So this is just going to help to set your makeup without adding any makeup on top. So now we're gonna finish this off with some Gloss Bomb, and I'm gonna be using Gloss Bomb in Fussy. So I am here with my model Victoria, and she has normal skin. So I already prepped Victoria's skin with some moisturizer. So I'm gonna be using the original Instant Retouch Primer with Hydrating Foundation. I'm gonna take some of the Instant Retouch Primer and do a few pumps in the palm of my hand. Now for this primer, you could use your fingertips or you can use your brush. They're equally as good. I am actually just gonna use the brush. Again, always focusing it more on the T-zone area because that's the area where we get the most oily. Now this primer is great because it blurs pores. It makes the surface of your skin super smooth. And at the very beginning of the application, you're gonna get a little bit of hydrating, but then it dries down to a nice soft matte finish. Now I'm gonna be taking the Hydrating Foundation in the color 240. I'm gonna apply a couple of pumps on a palette, and I am going to be taking the Kabuki Buff brush, swirling it around and really getting an even coat on all of the bristles. And then I'm gonna start to apply it center of the face and then working my way out, doing these half circle swirling motions. Now, because Victoria has a normal skin type, she can pretty much wear either one of the foundations. So if she wanted something that made her skin look really natural and fresh and also photographed really nicely, the hydrating would be the best. But if she were to be wearing her foundation for a very long amount of time, maybe going somewhere where it's really warm and she really wanted it to just stay on all day, I would probably go with the soft matte foundation just because it's a bit more durable for oily skin. And today Victoria is just going to be chilling, wanting to look flawless, so we went with hydrating. But really depending on the skin type that you have, it kind of gives you a different effect. So for someone that has more of a normal to oily skin, you're gonna get this really pretty slight sheen finish. And then someone with more of a dry skin, you'll get a really nice natural finish. Now a little trick that I like to do when you don't want too much of a detectable foundation, I like to take the precision sponge while it's damp with nothing on it and just kind of press over the skin on the outer areas of the face to just really melt everything in and just create more of a skin-like texture. I'm gonna take Pro Filter Concealer in the color 240, and I am going to do 3 stripes underneath the eye. Now I'm going to be taking the concealer brush and blending this out and just buff the concealer in under the eyes. Now this concealer is more of a soft matte finish and the foundation is a hydrating finish, but they actually blend in really, really nicely together. I'm actually just gonna be using Invisimatte blotting powder. I'm gonna take the Powder Puff brush and I'm gonna take some of the Invisimatte and apply it under her eyes, as well as the T-zone area, around the nose and the laugh lines, and on the chin. So now I'm gonna finish it up with some Gloss Bomb in the color Fussy. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Make sure that you guys check out fentybeauty.com for more. Thanks for watching.